Hi everyone, welcome to Nareen's Life with MS. I am Nareen here. So today I want to start on a topic regarding on Travel Hangover Diaries episode 3 about something that we'll talk about for a few days now, which are all of the issues that concern my leg. So one of the funny things that ended up happening was that my leg had quite a few issues, especially my left leg. Not so much my right leg, but there are certain issues that actually impacted both legs, and I will go over them, one after another. So first one I do want to cover is a buckling of the knees. Now, buckling tends to happen fairly rarely. I would say it's a very occasional thing that does end up happening from time to time. And the one thing I only remember about, the buckling of the knees is just this sense of surprise, shock, and of course, the knowledge that if I don't catch myself in time, that I'm going to hurt myself very badly. And sure, I'm going to laugh about that if I do fall, but usually the opportunity does arise that there is something that I can hold on to within an arm's length, so I can actually stop myself from falling. But I do want to say that the buckling of the knees, especially on my left knee, was, I'd say, a little more common. It happened maybe more times than I expected it to. For a trip that was this long, 3.5 weeks, usually this event happens maybe once in 2 weeks, and I can recall at least 3 or 4 instances of it happening. So this was definitely one thing that I was surprised by, if not a little shocked by, knowing that sure, I have kind of stopped my actual training at the gym and working out, but the way I saw it, I would have my knees buckle before I went to the gym, and I had my knees buckle after I went to the gym. I mean, even when I was going to the gym. So there was, I would say, it was pretty independent of that. However, it definitely increased in the last it definitely increased during the trip. Now, with that being said, that is pretty much something that I did want to discuss with you, whether you have the occurrence, especially if you do end up walking, whether you experience the same buckling of the knees, just having somewhat of a whoopsie daisy as it so happens. And if and if it does happen to you and there is nothing nearby to hold on to, what do you end up doing? Do you fall on the floor? And if not, are you able to stabilize yourself in time to not make sure that you're on the floor? I think I have had one experience maybe a few years back where my knees buckled and I was able to hold myself on a squat, and that squat only happened as a result of me doing squats on a regular basis, which I also ended up doing on my trip at least once or twice a week. But even when I talk about doing all of those activities, the frequency of the buckling of the knees, or at least the knee, right? It was mostly my left knee that buckles. I have rarely, if not ever, noticed buckling in my right knee, but in my left knee, of course, it does happen. So I definitely noticed an increase in the frequency of that happening. And so I don't know if I want to attribute that to the weather or the cold. I'd more attribute it to the shock of traveling somewhere that was so alien uh, to me. So that is one thing that I do want to mention. And of course, apart from that, another thing that I think falls into the same realm, and I don't think I am going to actually make another video about it, is just the fact that I tend to have a problem with my knees, of or at least my left knee, of it locking, staying straight, and then me having issues with unlocking the knee, folding the knee when it becomes locked. And when it does that, I end up just having to kind of force my knee to fold. That it So the way I'll describe this experience is more of a weird it was a very weird occurrence where it was very hard to lock my knees over in the US. I would say it was much easier to keep my knees sort of in a slightly folded position even while walking, and that actually scared me as well, because the one thing it did was when one thing it did was it kind of stopped this leg from becoming a peg leg, but at the same time there were instances where I did want my left leg to be a little straighter, right, not to bend, and that was the only thing it was doing. So if you do have such experiences, please do describe them in the comments. Please do share the conversation, please do start the conversation so that I can continue it. Of course, thank you so much for listening to me, and I do enjoy, as you know, I do enjoy interacting with you. So please do share your stories if this has happened, and do give your own theories about what do you think this might be. Do you think this could be a reason, this could be a cause of shock? It could be a cause of me exercising less. It could be a cause of my diet changing. It could be a cause of any number of things that could have happened. So please do share your stories. Please do share your inputs and your insights. That'll make it very helpful for me to continue the conversation and maybe find if not the answer, but something that can help. So with that said, this has been Narain's Life with MS. I am Narain, and wishing you a good night.